Welcome to the Lincoln Hills Water Volleyball Club, formed in 2006 to promote recreational volleyball for the residents of Sun City, Lincoln Hills. There are 2 training videos available on our website: Basic Skills and Advanced Play. By now you have watched our video on Basic Skills. In this Advanced Play video, we demonstrate the skills of blocking, saving the ball, and playing off the net, all of which you will need to play at a higher level. Blocking is an advanced skill that often requires above average height, expert timing, motivation, solid playing skills, and good jumping ability. Not all players can block. However, this skill is not required to be a good player. To be ready for a block, bend your knees slightly. Keep your elbows in and hands in front of your face. Be square with the net and in position directly opposite the hitter, but be ready to shuffle left or right very quickly. Track the ball from the setter to the hitter and look for a good location to place the block ball. Begin your block by moving towards the net. Jump straight up without drifting and quickly extend your arms at a slight angle towards the net. Time your jump so that your hands are even with the ball as it starts to cross the net. Keep your wrists locked and your fingers rigid and spread apart to cover the maximum blocking area. The ball should hit squarely against as many of your fingers as possible. As you touch the ball, snap your wrists forward and down to block. You can legally reach over the net to block an attack hit, but you cannot touch the ball before the opponent has released it. To be an effective blocker, you must observe the patterns of the hitters on the opposite side. Not every ball crossing the net is blockable. Only attempt a block if you are fairly confident that you can be successful. For instance, if you expect that a hitter normally hits a spike or placement shot, then you should move to block. However, as you move into position, you are close to the net and create an open hole behind you. If the hitter uses either a looping type hit or a dink shot, it will go over your head, not be blockable, and may hit that open hole. If a hitter hits the ball with his or her back to the net, that hit is blockable, as you can sneak up and block the ball without being detected. A successful block can be considered a 2-point swing for your team. For example, a hit to your side by your opponent that lands in the water results in a point for the opponent. But if that hit is blocked successfully and falls into the water on the opponent's side, it negates their point and gives a point to your team. This is a 2-point swing, which is the ultimate goal of a block. A block only occurs when the ball is struck above the net and is not considered one of the 3 touches allowed. If the ball then falls on the blocker's side of the net, he/she can play it again. This becomes an acceptable double hit and the first touch for his or her team. An attempted block below the net is not a block, rather a play on the ball, and is considered the first of 3 touches. In this case, the blocker should call out "touch" to alert his or her teammates that they need to play the ball. Whenever the ball is in play, no player is allowed to touch the net, not even slightly. If a hitter cleanly attacks the ball and the blocker touches the net, then the blocking team loses a point. If the net is pushed into a blocker by the hitter, the point is awarded to the blocker's team. If both players touch the net at the same time, which often occurs, the rally should be replayed and no points awarded. If you are playing behind a blocker and a block is attempted, quickly move closer to the net to plug the hole created by the blocker's movement forward. In this location, you may be able to play any dink shot from the hitter. Tooling a block means that the hitter will purposely try to hit the ball out of bounds off of your block. To diminish its effectiveness, make sure your fingers and hands are square with the middle of the opponent's side of the court, and, whenever you can, try not to give away the fact that you are going to block. Hitting into an open net means that there is no attempt to block. This can be frustrating to your back row teammates and dangerous when the ball is hit hard. Sometimes just the action of jumping up at the net can distract the hitter and make them change the speed or placement of the hit, so jump anyway. To be a successful blocker requires that you observe the patterns of your hitter and know when to block. From the ready position, jump straight up and straight down. Keep your fingers apart to cover as much area as you can and your hands square with the direction of the block to avoid being tooled. Teammates should cover the block by filling in the open hole behind you. Sometimes jump even if you don't intend to block, just to protect your teammates. If you have a chance to practice with your fellow players during warm-up, do so as often as you can. A save occurs when you dive to play a ball that is out of your normal reach and you prevent it from touching the water. Your teammates are now able to play the ball and continue the rally. When a save is the third touch, you must hit the ball over the net. Saving a ball can pump up your team. A two-handed save is always preferred as you have better control and can put more elevation on the ball. As you dive forward, get two hands underneath the ball without them touching the water. Get enough elevation on the ball so that a teammate can set the ball for the hitter, or it can be played over the net. If you are passing the ball, shout up, which alerts your teammates that the ball is still in play. Using a one-handed save, the arm is stretched out, allowing the player to cover more distance than with a two-handed save. With a one-handed save, most players prefer to use an open-handed hit for maximum control, but power is sacrificed with this method. If you use a closed fist, it is more powerful but lacks control. However, with a lot of practice, the open-handed save can be powerful as well. To cover a player who is diving to save a ball, be ready to accept a pass or to protect the diver's vacated position. If the diver's touch is the first or second one, then players nearest the diver need to cover him or her by being ready to accept a pass and make a play on the ball. If the save is the third touch, the ball must be played over the net. In the second case, an opponent may immediately hit to the open area vacated by the diver, so adjacent players should move quickly to cover that vacated position, then go back to their own defensive positions. Also, the diver should try to move back to his or her position as quickly as possible. In this section, we have learned that to make an effective save, you must first observe the hitter on the opposing side in order to determine the placement of the ball. While the use of two hands is preferred for control, a one-handed save is the most common. When diving for a ball which will be passed to a setter, elevate it high. After the execution of a save, go immediately back to your defensive position. Players nearest the diver should cover he or she either by being ready for his or her pass or protecting his or her vacated position. Saving a ball by diving for it can motivate your team and keep a rally going. And finally, practice saving the ball whenever you can with your fellow teammates. Playing the ball off the net is saving a ball that has been hit into the net. It is only legal if the touch count is 1 or 2, and if your team has not served the ball into the net. This is an advanced skill that requires an understanding of what happens to the ball when it rebounds from the net and how to position yourself to make the play. When the ball is hit into the netting, it rebounds back from the net. How far it travels back and how fast it drops is determined by the velocity and direction of the ball. In this first example, a ball is thrown into the netting, which gives way and then pushes the ball backwards. A ball that hits the more rigid taped area or the netting nearest the tape will drop rapidly. To play a ball that hits the netting, you need to position yourself at a distance from the net. If the ball hits the top of the net and drops, you must be close to the net. Keep calm, as panicking will result in a poor, uncontrolled touch. Practice playing off the net by having a teammate throw a ball into the net at different heights, speeds, and angles. Playing the ball off the net is a great skill, but is not easy to master. It is legal if it is not served into the net. Since the ball reaction off the net is different when hitting the netting or the tape, be prepared to position yourself with enough space for either situation. Stay calm and don't panic, and practice with your teammates or by yourself as often as you can. In this video, you've learned some of the more advanced skills of blocking, saving the ball, and playing off the net. You are ready to practice and perfect them. This may even help you to move up to a higher level of play. You can find more information on our website, at lhwatervolleyball.com.